Hey everybody, good news, I showered and dressed today. Better news, and I'm like just overcome because right now I am at $2,615. Uh, Thank you. I love you all. I admire you all. I would not be the woman I am today, writing it regardless, writing put aside, if it wasn't for the support of all of you who have donated, every single last one of you. So just thank you, thank you, thank you. And before I cry and ruin this video, as promised, I'm going to read from my forthcoming novel, Moody Blue, which is appropriate in so many different ways. One, because today is Elvis Presley's birthday, Long Live the King, and the title was inspired by his song, Moody Blue, so give that a listen if you haven't. And just appropriate because I love sharing my work with all of you. This should come out in the spring. It's currently under contract with Martin Sisters Publishing, but they are a very small, tenacious, hardworking publisher based out of Kentucky, I think. So we want to give them some leeway with that deadline. But my second novel is about a young man named Adam who wants nothing more than to marry the love of his life. So he comes home from work one day, all set to propose, bounds up the stairs into the bedroom that they share, and finds her dead on the floor. Her wrists have been cut. The police say it's a clear-cut suicide. Adam argues otherwise. He says he loves her. He knows her. He would have known she was depressed. He had a crazy ex-girlfriend. It could be homicide. There needs to be some sort of investigation. Everybody thinks he's crazy for thinking this, so they encourage him to go to like therapeutic workshops and events, so he ends up at one for writers who have survived traumatic experiences, and he meets this young woman, Melanie, and they have a connection, and together they have to figure out what happened, what's currently going on, and what that means for the both of them. I'm very proud of this work. I think it's some of my best writing. So the part I'm going to read to you is when Adam discovers his fiancée dead in their bedroom. So here is an excerpt from Moody Blue. It's upside down. Human beings respond to traumatic events in different ways. Some people will remove the entire episode from their memories and completely block it from their minds. It is like victims of car accidents, for example, who passed out and completely lost consciousness for the event. Like at the moment of impact when the glass shattered from the outside in and the metal frame of the car crumpled and crunched impossibly loud, their eyes slipped shut and they missed everything. When they next opened their eyes, there were bandages, gauze, and scars, and a hazy kind of recollection that would be terrifying and incredibly detrimental were it to clarify. Thus, every day is a struggle varying in difficulty to keep the terror, the heartache, and the pain at bay. The goal is simply to exist. To continue from day to day as if nothing ever happened. These poor souls operate under the near constant pressure of the past, of the truth, of reality crashing down upon them like a tsunami and shattering the walls they built around themselves. Others remember the traumatic event in remarkable detail, able to recall the sights, sounds, and smells and sensations at a moment's notice. The eyes of these hypothetical victims of a car wreck were wide open and observant, somehow braced for the crash. As if time slowed to a crawl, these individuals looked all around and noticed a slight stain on the front of their passengers' shirts, probably ketchup or dripping grease from a tasty hamburger, remnants of a recent lunch, and the way said shirts folded upon themselves at the passengers' thighs when seated. When the police arrive on scene, these are the individuals who provide the makes, models, colors, and license plates of the other vehicles that slammed into their own cars. These individuals have accepted what happened and freely live with it, and do so fairly quickly, almost immediately. Rather than treating the past as some stranger, these people welcome it as an old friend, inviting it to walk beside them daily and help to define the rest of their lives. These people are strong in spirit, undoubtedly, and wake every day fully aware of who they were and who they are and wonder at who they might be. Still, others hold on to one single detail of a traumatic event and let that one detail define the whole event. They focus in on something mundane to keep from going mad, to keep from going numb, and to keep from drowning in their sorrow. Because one little thing, is easily broken down, analyzed, and compartmentalized accordingly. This is the hypothetical victim who cannot determine from which direction the other car came from or where he was going and why. He can only stare at his bloody, trembling hands and mouth soundlessly, doing his best to form unintelligible syllables which were intended to form words but fall short of the mark. The focus becomes sustained appendages because to try and live with the whole trauma with all its many aspects and nasty surprises would be suicide for people like this. By focusing in and thereby away from the big picture, these kinds of victims and these kinds of witnesses wake the next morning and take that next inhale much more easily. Adam Pearson belonged to this latter group. Lily's car had been in the driveway, so Adam had been wrong in thinking she had been shopping. He was oddly disappointed and relieved. He would have loved more time alone to prepare the scene and himself for the monumental question about to be asked, but he was ready, and there was always the chance he might lose his nerve if he were truly alone with his thoughts. Fueled by nervous excitement, he hurried inside, and when Adam entered through the front door, he announced his arrival. Happily, he called out to Lily, a kind of breathlessness hanging about his words. He carelessly threw his already battered briefcase off to the side of the front door, in the corner where only dust and random pairs of shoes were gathered. Using his extended foot, he closed the front door behind him. Adam clutched the bouquet of roses, bundled the newspaper, and hurried up the stairs to the master bedroom. His footsteps sounded dull against the carpet runner of the stairs, so Lily might not have heard his quick ascension, but she would have definitely heard his boisterous voice calling out. Why hadn't she come out to the landing to meet him? Or had she been downstairs, why hadn't she stopped him with a smile? Where exactly was Lily? Adam assumed she was in the bedroom, maybe using the bathroom. His momentum carried him inside, jostling him against the door jamb, and then suddenly the momentum disappeared, leaving him alone and lonely and stranded in a strange place. Though he was quite familiar with his bedroom and found it cozy and comfortable, Adam would not have described it as such on that day and in that particular moment. In the farthest corner of the room, the one least illuminated by the rays peeking through the heavy drapes, was the golden crown of Lily's head. Something was wrong. Why would she sit in the corner of the room on the bare wooden floor? Had she been looking for something underneath the bed and then sat to rest? Was she missing something? But more troubling was the question of why she hadn't answered. Adam's arms now hung rather limply at his sides, the roses pointed downward, moments from falling to the floor amid their forgotten decadence and beauty. He moved slower, at least it felt like he was moving slower, moving parallel to the edge of the mattress. He needed to, but didn't necessarily want to, round the corner to see Lily. When her body came fully into view, the roses made their descent. The first thing Adam noticed, and the only thing he would honestly remember about finding his soon-to-be fiancée dead in their bedroom, was all the blood. As far as Adam could remember, and let accuracy be damned, the room was filled with orange, burning light from the sun's rays reflecting over the various pools of blood. Amid the odd light, he could see Lily in the room, in the blood. Lily was surrounded by it, transformed into a lonely island of flesh. Adam practically had to swim through to get to his beloved, trudging through crimson puddles with the coppery smell of it filling his nostrils and forcing his stomach to rise to his throat. He was worried about vomiting, but that worry was not strong enough to keep the howls of pain within his throat, because they traveled with too much power from deep within his chest, beside his soul, adjacent to his very reason for being. It did not seem possible. Indeed, it was only a few hours ago that Adam had risen and gone to work, dreaming of returning home and proposing to Lily. How had everything gone so horribly, tragically wrong so fast? I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's a real downer, but I hope you're looking forward to this next novel, and I hope you keep sharing and donating. I love you. I'm inspired by you. You all are the reason I do this and the reason why I think I can even attempt to do this. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.